Senator Graham, Secretary of State John Kerry reiterated again this week that he thinks this uptick in violence is related to the pressure that is being put on Daesh or ISIS. And he says it's a sign that they're being put into a corner. Do you buy that?
Well, you know, we have made progress on the ground in Iraq and Syria, but there is no strategy to replace Assad. And if Assad stays in power in Syria, the war in Syria never ends, and you can't stabilize Iraq. But the one thing I want people to know, if you forget about Afghanistan, you do so at your own peril. This is where 9/11 originated. The president's about to make the most consequential decision of his presidency in a long time about troop levels. Mr. President, this time around, accept sound military advice, lead the 9,800, make it conditions-based, and let the next president, whoever he or she may be, deal with Afghanistan. Please do not cut these troop levels in half. If you do, Afghanistan's going to become Iraq very quickly.
And have rules of engagement that we can utilize the full use of American military power.
Senator McCain, on that Afghanistan question, the situation there, by some reports, is quite dire. The unity government is in a very shaky state, and the Taliban is making advances. For an American public that has seen 15+ years of war in Afghanistan, leaving the troops there, it might feel like just throwing good after bad.
Well, then that means we have forgotten the lesson of 9/11, and that is that where those attacks came from, and that was a base here in Afghanistan. We cannot afford to consign Afghanistan to that status again. And of course, if we leave and these forces take over, then there will be further attacks on the United States of America. By the way, there's going to be further attacks on the United States of America as long as they have a base in Syria, but then they'll have another base in Afghanistan.
Senator Graham, I want to ask you about Turkey. A year ago, a lot of analysts would say that Turkey was sort of turning a blind eye to ISIS. A lot of the fighters went through, almost all of them were going through Turkey, and that Turkey was an enabler, as one person put it. Where now do you think Turkey is in terms of the fight against ISIS?
Moving in the right direction. I want to give the administration credit for getting Turkey more on board. But this attack you saw in Turkey is just a symptom of a greater problem. But Turkey was antagonistic toward Israel. Now we have a new relationship between Turkey and Israel, so that's a good sign. But I can only tell you that in Afghanistan, Daesh or ISIL is actually growing in capability. So Turkey coming to the fight will help us in Syria and Iraq. But we don't have a strategy to destroy ISIL. The next president will have to deal with that. What we're doing in Syria is buying time. President Obama is passing this on to the next president. And I hope to God we don't get hit in the United States from an attack planned in Syria like you saw in Turkey. And I'm afraid that's going to happen if we don't speed up the demise of ISIL.